so he threw me to the ground. And I guess my head hit a trash can or something, because I blacked out after that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the next thing I knew, I was back at home in my bed, surrounded by my family.
It looks like he's waking up.
Oh, thank God. Paul? It's Mom. Can you hear us?
It's okay, Paul. We're here.
Water.
Would you go getting some water, Doug?
Of course, I'll be right back. Hang in there, Cocker. Easy, Paul. Don't force yourself.
Do you think we should take him to the hospital? Just in case?
He doesn't appear to be that badly injured, babe. He just needs rest and time to recover.
I hope you're right.
Here, I brought you some water.
Help him sit up, Dad.
How's that, Cocker?
Better. What happened? How did you find me?
Let's just say that you have one hell of a friend.
Simon told you? But how could he possibly have known?
He came running over here, told us everything. And you should count yourself lucky that he did. In fact, he even stayed here to look after Talia, and to make sure you were okay.
He's in the other room, if you would like to see him.
So you know then. About him.
Paul, do you realize the danger you could have been in? Never mind this, Rufus. You went by yourself to the worst neighborhood in Wilford Heights. You had us all worried sick. We searched all over town for you for 2 hours. And not only that, you didn't even think to tell us that you were having problems at school.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Maybe we shouldn't be so hard on him, Charlene. He's been through a lot today. Although your mother is right, Paul. You gave us all quite a scare. You put yourself in a lot of danger going to that part of town. You're lucky things didn't end up worse than they did.
I said I was sorry. How was I supposed to know he'd lead me to that place?
He shouldn't have been leading you anywhere, Paul. You can't just follow people like that. You just don't know what could happen.
Paul, you're awake. How are you doing?
Okay.
I just feel like this is sort of my fault. I should have stayed with you. This wouldn't have happened if I'd stayed with you.
Simon, you couldn't have known he would go off by himself and follow Rufus home. The important thing is, you had a hunch, you acted on it, and you told us what was bothering him.
I can't believe you would tell them, Simon. I trusted you to only keep this between us.
Paul, Simon did the right thing by telling us.
I had to say something, Paul. You weren't behaving like yourself, and I couldn't just stand by and do nothing.
Where's Talia?
In her room. Like the rest of us, she was worried too, Paul. She's been wanting to see you since we brought you home.
Should I go tell her that her big brother is finally awake?
Yes, Mom, she'd like that.
Paul, I hope you understand why I had to tell everyone. I was just looking out for you.
You have another visitor, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Do you have to sit right on top of me?
Come on, Talia, climb down from there. Give him some breathing room.
Mommy, why is Paul in bed?
He'll be fine, Munchkin. He just needs to rest.
Is Paul sick?
No. Paul isn't sick. Do you remember when you fell down the other day?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's what happened to Paul. He just fell down, and now he needs to rest, just like you had to.
Hope you get better, Paul.
Thanks. The next day, I felt okay enough to go back to school. I was just about to leave, when my parents called me into the living room.
Paul, could you come in here, please?
Come and sit down, Paul. So, before you go to school, I want you to know that we scheduled an appointment for after school with your principal to settle this whole Rufus situation.
Grandma and Grandpa will also be attending. They feel this is important too.
Okay, whatever. I don't have to be there, do I?
Yes, Paul, you do. Rufus will also be there. If we all sort this out now, today, we can prevent it from escalating further.
Life will go on for you, but there will be natural consequences for refusing the first option.
All day long, I was dreading that meeting after school. It was all I could think about. I didn't even want to talk or hang out with anyone. Not even Simon.
There you are. I was looking all over for you. Listen, Paul, I understand you being upset that I told your family, but I had to. For your own sake. I think you would have done the same thing if the situation was reversed. Paul, say something. At least promise me that you won't try anything else with Rufus. I know you think Rufus is this bad person, but please, let it go. Nothing good will come of it. Fine. Go ahead and do the silent treatment thing. But please, just drop this. I don't want to see you getting hurt again.
You don't get it, do you?
Get what?
My parents arranged a meeting for us with Mrs. Delgado after school. And Rufus is gonna be there too. He's gonna be even angrier now.
Oh. Well, to be fair, Paul, you did follow him into his personal life, and you did stalk him. I wouldn't blame him for being angry. I'm sure the meeting will go fine.
So at the end of the day, I made the long walk to the principal's office for the meeting with my family. And with Rufus.
Thank you all for being here. So, let's get right to it. Do you boys understand why we're here today?
As I understand it, Mrs. Delgado, Paul and his family feel as though I have wronged him. And I of course deeply apologize if they feel this way. I understand that my appearance can be alarming to some people. However, it was not, and never will be, my intention to come across as harmful to others.
From what I've been told, one of your friends put his hand around Paul's neck and held him against a wall. Is this true?
Yes, it is. However, I promptly told him to release Paul and to refrain from attacking him. The student in question was only retaliating because Paul had attacked him first.
I see. Paul, did you attack him first?
No.
Are you sure? Very well. I'm also told that you followed Rufus around throughout the school day, and then later followed him home, and that this resulted in you suffering an injury due to the dangerous neighborhood Rufus lives in.
As you know, Mrs. Delgado, I do live in an impoverished environment. My family struggles just to get by. I do not condone Paul following me home, and I was unaware that he had done so. Therefore, I cannot in any way take responsibility for what happened to him there. Paul is incredibly lucky that, like me, he has a loving family to protect him.
Very well. Paul, can you confirm that you followed Rufus home? Okay. Will you promise to stop following Rufus from here on out? And Rufus, will you ensure that Paul is safe and does not follow you or instigate any more fights with your friends?
Yes, Mrs. Delgado. I of course cannot control Paul's aggressive behavior, but I promise to remain more vigilant around him from now on. And although I was not at fault, I still want to apologize for what happened to him on both occasions.
Okay. Before we wrap this up, Paul, is there anything you would like to say to Rufus?
I'm sorry I followed you.
Great. I'm glad the matter is settled.
But the truth was, the matter was far from settled. In fact, after that meeting, it only escalated to the next level.